Okay, it is 2 minutes after 7, so I'm going to call to order the regular meeting for the Batavia City Council for Monday, February 17th, 2025. I would ask you to all please rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, as we meet as a community, we are very, very thankful and appreciative for all the great organizations, the outstanding churches, and the great sentiments of support for each other that we find in Batavia. In a world where there seems to be many people who don't find much to agree about or support, Batavia, I'm very, very honored to be the mayor where you have a town that people all want to do what is in the best interest of the community and for the betterment of the future. And so that's kind of the sentiment of Batavia that I think we are at right now, and we are ever thankful for that, and we ask for that blessing of appreciation. Tonight, we also want to remember from our community those who are serving on foreign soil in defense of the liberties of the United States of America, and we just ask that a special blessing be showered on each of these men and women as they go about their vital missions. As always, we want to ask for understanding and division and appreciation by the members of the City Council as they act on the items of business before us, knowing in the hearts and minds of each of them they are here to do what is in the best interest of Batavia. And finally, we want to ask for a special blessing on all those in our community who are sick or affirmed or elderly or who are incapacitated. And we just ask that a special blessing be spoken upon each of them. We ask for all these blessings. Amen. Who would like to do the pledge tonight? Anybody volunteer? Sure. Alderman.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Barraza, absent. Lancy, absent. Beck. Here. Pieper. Here. Malone.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Solfa.
Here.
Barron. Here. Lehman, absent. Ayazi.
Here.
Malay.
Here.
Ewer, absent. Saron.
Here.
Vogelsinger. Here. 10 present, 4 absent.
So we have the necessary quorum to conduct business. Okay, item 4, reminder, if you're going to address us tonight, we ask that you come forward and use the microphone at the podium because without it, this is being taped and will be rebroadcast on BATV. And if you don't speak into the mic, nobody's going to be able to hear what you're saying on TV if they're watching it tonight or later. Finally, moved item 5, items to be removed, added, or changed on tonight's agenda. I'm not aware of any. Does anybody on the council have anything you want to change or remove? All right, very good. Moving to item 6, which is presentation of the consent agenda. And Alderman Beck, I believe you have that tonight.
Your Honor, the consent agenda reads as follows. To accept and place on file the building reports for January 2025, the November 2024 financials, the Committee of the Whole minutes from January 28, 2025, the Plan Commission minutes from January 22nd, 2025, and the Historic Preservation Commission minutes for January 13th, 2025. And for approval, the February 14th, 2025 payroll in the amount of $1,056,728.71. The accounts payable check register in the amount of $4,900,687.83. The City Council minutes for January 21st, 2025. Resolution 2025-20-R, amendment to the 2024 budget for inter-fund transfers. Resolution 2025-9-R, authorization to purchase a 2025 hybrid Ford Maverick truck from Fair Oaks Ford of Naperville, Illinois for $33,956. Resolution 2025-21-R, authorization to purchase a 2021 sewer camera trailer from Standard Equipment Company of Elmhurst, Illinois for an amount not to exceed $50,000. Ordinance 2025-11, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for participation in the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network. Resolution 2025-15-R, authorizing supplement number 1 for construction engineering services for the Prairie Street and Wilson Street intersection improvements project, stage 2, with V3 Companies Limited in an amount not to exceed $43,163. Ordinance 2025-14, declaring certain property to be surplus and authorizing sale. Resolution 2025-23-R, authorizing execution of contract with Performance Construction and Engineering LLC for water main replacement on Bernadette Lane and South Batavia Avenue. Resolution 2025-22-R, authorizing execution of task order number 50 with Engineering Enterprises Incorporated for construction engineering services of the water main replacement on Bernadette and South Batavia Avenue. Resolution 2025-24-R, abating $410,456.26 for the tax heretofore levied for the tax year 2024 to pay debt service on $6 million general obligation bonds, Series 2017 of the City of Batavia, Kane and DuPage Counties, Illinois. Resolution 2025-25-R, abating $700,400 of the tax heretofore levied for the tax year 2024 to pay debt service on $3,195,000 general obligation bonds, refunding Series 2019 of the City of Batavia, Kane and DuPage Counties, Illinois. Resolution 2025-26-R, abating $256,000 for the tax heretofore levied for the tax year 2024 to pay debt service on the $4 million general obligation bonds, Series 2020, for the City of Batavia, Kane and DuPage. Resolution 2025-27-R, abating $1,493,050 for the tax heretofore levied for the tax year 2024 to pay debt service on $22,570,000 general obligation bonds, refunding Series 2015 of the City of Batavia, Kane and DuPage Counties. Resolution 2025-28-R, authorizing task order number 10D with Baxter and Woodman Incorporated for the GIS GPS stormwater utility field data collection in an amount not to exceed $75,000. Ordinance 2025-13, grant of variance for building setbacks for 414 South Batavia Avenue. Your Honor, I move we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Beck, second by Alderman Sofa for the approval of the consent agenda. Any conversation from the City Council? I would just like to share with the rest of you in the audience here that the City Council has discussed each one of these items that has just been read. They do it at a committee meeting that's Committee of the Whole, where all the aldermen come, and Alderman Wolf runs it as the senior alderman, and they do a great job of kind of clearing the air on all this so we don't get tied up when we have bigger crowds like we have here tonight. I just also like to comment that I'm very pleased to see the amount of money that we are going to be able to abate on property taxes with this action here. We've got quite a bit, several $1 million we're abating here that was going to be not put on anybody's tax bill, and it's just because the city in recent years has gained some significant new revenues from different areas, specifically our industrial park out on the east side and the growth in sales tax, which has been significant because of all the new commercial businesses, both downtown and out on Randall Road. So we've got the money in the bank, or come to us, and so we're not raising people's taxes. And Batavia's property taxes on everybody's bill, Batavia's tax bill is pretty high, but it's not the city that's creating the big movement on the tax bill. Our city tax rate is one of the lowest in the region, so I'm very honored about that too, that the city is not the one that's boosting your bill up real high, and so we're one of the lowest in Kane County, so I'm very honored to have that as part of us too. But that's just because we have a great staff and a very carefully watching city council that's here all the time to make sure that we're doing the right stuff that keeps Batavia moving in the right direction. So with that being said, any further comments? Clerk, call the roll.
Beck.
Aye.
Pieper.
Aye.
Malone.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron. Ayazi.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
10 yes, no, 4 absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, moving to item 7, matters from the public for items that are not on tonight's agenda. Does anybody want to address us? I don't see anybody wanting to raise their hand. If they did, I was going to ask you to come up to the podium. All right, now we're going to do some nice things about Batavia. Item 8 is going to be a proclamation that's been prepared to honor Black History Month in the city of Batavia. And Alderman Vogelsinger is going to read this for us.
All right. Whereas each year, Black History Month is observed in February, and whereas the origins of Black History Month date back to 1915, when Dr. Carter G. Woodson, a scholar who fervently believed that Black people should be proud of their heritage and all Americans should understand the largely overlooked achievements of African Americans, founded the organization known today as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people in the city of Batavia, whether they self-identify as African, African American, Afro-Latino, Afro-Caribbean, or Black. And whereas this year's Black History Month focuses on African Americans and labor, and on ways that work of all kinds, free and unfree, seen and unseen, volunteer and vocational, intersects with the collective experiences of Black people and has helped shape our country. And whereas observing Black History Month provides opportunities to gain a deeper understanding of African American history, which is American history, and acknowledge the centuries of struggles for equality and freedom. And whereas Black History Month celebrates the achievements and contributions that African Americans have made in shaping our country, society, and communities. And whereas Batavia has a proud legacy of being a welcoming community for Black Americans, attracting settlers even before the Civil War and fostering a spirit of opportunity, resilience, and civic engagement. And whereas Black business owners, professionals, students, and residents have been integral to the economic, educational, and cultural vitality of Batavia, contributing to its growth and success through entrepreneurship, civic leadership, and community service. And whereas the entrepreneurship and career expertise of long ago citizens like James Stewart and Charles E. Hall contributed to Batavia's economic success and paved the way for the continued success of Black professionals and businesses who call Batavia home. And whereas Batavia has a long history of impactful Black educators and staff in Batavia public schools, including Janet Graves Williams and Ruth Tusana, who inspired generations to civil and community service in and outside their families. This legacy continues today with BPS staff like Kim Anderson, Jennifer Carpenter, Marie Harris, Tanya Majerski, Alanis Tellis, Devontae White, Amber Jerza, the 2023 ISBE North Suburban Teacher of the Year and 2024 Hall of Honor inductee, Tori Pryor. These role models are an inspiration to our students and community. And whereas the cultural impact of institutions such as Logan Street Missionary Baptist Church is undeniable, and the cultural impact can also be felt with the work of involved families such as Roy and Mildred Bailey, who helped organize the Food Pantry Clothes Closet and annual toy drive, which continue to this day. Whereas, as part of our goal of fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment, the City of Batavia has incorporated the following value statements into its 2024 to 2028 strategic plan. History. We value the history of our city and strive to preserve and celebrate it. Diversity. We take pride in the historic diversity of our residents and strive to provide a sense of belonging in which people from all backgrounds and ages can live and thrive. Now, therefore, I, Jeffrey D. Schilke, which is the mayor, not me, mayor of City of Batavia, do hereby proclaim February as Black History Month in Batavia and encourage all residents to reflect on, learn about, and celebrate the rich heritage and contributions of African Americans in our community and beyond. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Batavia to be affixed the 17th day of February, 2025.
Make a motion to accept it.
Oh, yes, I would like to make a motion to accept this proclamation.
Second.
Motion by Vogelsinger, second by Malay. Clerk, call the roll.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Pieper.
Aye.
Malone.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Solfa.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Malay.
Aye.
Ewer is absent. I'm sorry. Saron.
Aye.
Thank you. Who did I miss?
Aye.
I'm sorry. Thank you. 10 present and 4 absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, at this time, I'm going to invite several people up here. We've got copies of this proclamation to present, but the first person I'd like to invite up is Chris Vole, who I think wrote much of this. Copy, and here it is.
I appreciate that.
Would you like to make any comments about it?
No, I think I'm going to cede my words to somebody else. I was under somebody else today.
All right. So let me just tell you a little story about what's going to happen next. In 1954, I attended my first kindergarten class over at Old Louise White School on North Washington Avenue. And when I walked into the school that first time, the person that was next to me is somebody that's in this audience. Ruthia, where are you at? Oh, gotcha. You know that going way back to the very beginning. So I wanted to present you with your own copy of this. And thank you for all you've done, because you have been a voice of movement in this town for as long. You and I were the two big mouths in the class. And so we were the ones that turn around. She wants to take a picture.
It wasn't my mouth that was big. He just talks all the time. But he does have a wealth of knowledge, and his mind is just amazing. I was in his office the other day, and I was just going to be there for a few minutes. I went to pick up some pictures from him for our Black History program at our church this Sunday. I think I was there for over an hour. But I enjoyed talking to Jeff because he reminds me of things I had long forgotten. But from kindergarten through high school, we've always been friends.
Been together through it all. But
That's the
anyway,
song.
you got it. There's somebody from the church here that we can give a
Oh, Logan Street, please stand up. Those of you who are here from our church. Reverend Dr. David J. Seymour, our pastor.
Seymour and I have known each other since he first arrived in the church, and I remember we went to lunch here about a week after you renounced, and so then we went for a little ride around Batavia, and I pointed out to him all the pluses and minuses that were around the community. And he
More
said,
pluses than minuses.
right, more pluses and minuses. So on behalf of the city council, I'm honored to present you a copy of this.
Thank you so
So
much.
you can have one to hang in the church, but I just wanted to thank those who really have made a great difference in letting Batavia achieve all the success we have. I go to a lot of meetings. I'm chairman of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning's Council of Mayors downtown. And so I get to know most of the mayors throughout the region. And several times a year, I have some of them ask you, how does Batavia create such a great human relations program in your town? And so then I have to sit down for an hour and tell them about the. So anyway, it's just something I'm very proud of, and something that Batavia should really hold its head very high about, because a lot of towns are looking at us with great envy because of the relationships and the way this town has been totally integrated, and we've got everything going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate all that's been done, and certainly
May I say this? When I first went away to school and people found out I was from Batavia, Black people live in And then they asked me, well, to describe Batavia, what Batavia was to me, I used one word. Perfect place to live. I didn't know prejudice. I went away to school. And
I really want to say thank you on behalf of Logan Street Missionary Baptist Church, where we are a great church with great people. serving an even greater God.
Who has blessed us with a great pastor.
Thank you. Our church has been on that plot of land for going on 104 years now. And I think it is a testament. Rudy has stated that the love and the respect that Batavia has offered people of color since the beginning is a testament that allows us to serve God's people on that corner of Logan and River Streets for now 100. I'm very grateful to lead our congregation and even add half of our church, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Up and give us a little presentation.
Oh, is it on? Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Molly Jersa, and I'm a proud member of the Black Student Union at Batavia High School. I'm also the daughter of one of the few Black educators in our district, so this topic is deeply personal to me. Tonight, as we celebrate Black History Month, I want to take a moment to honor the rich legacy of Black contributions in Batavia, from the trailblazing work of James Stewart and Charles E. Hall to the lasting impact of educators like Janet Graves Williams and my own mom, who inspires me every day. But while we celebrate, we also have to acknowledge the challenges that remain. In our schools, Black educators make up only a fraction of the staff, despite the diversity of our student body. And Black students, including many of my peers, continue to face systematic obstacles that limit their potential. These aren't just statistics, they're real people with real dreams facing real barriers that need to be addressed. One of those barriers is something that isn't talked about enough: bullying. It's not just about name calling or mean comments, it's about the way harmful stereotypes, racial slurs, and exclusion make us feel like we don't belong. And when Black students don't see themselves represented in the curriculum or feel that their concerns aren't a priority for those in leadership, it sends a clear message: our stories, our voices, and our experiences don't matter. That feeling doesn't just disappear, it stays with us, shaping how we see ourselves and how we move through the world, even long after we've left these hallways behind. Black History Month is a time to celebrate, but it's also a reminder that Black history is American history, and it shouldn't be confined to just 1 month. Our teachers are some of our greatest allies in this work, but they need support, resources, and training to create a curriculum that reflects the full diversity of our community, a curriculum where every student can see themselves and learn about each other. That's how we build a better future, by empowering our educators and making sure they have the tools to help every student thrive. This isn't about placing blame, it's about taking responsibility. It's about creating schools where every young person feels valued, where every story is honored, and where every student can reach their full potential, not just in February, but every single day. I'm grateful to our mayor for recognizing Black History Month and for creating spaces like this where we can come together to reflect and grow. And I have so much respect for the students in our district who have had the courage to share their experiences with the school board. Even though we haven't seen all the changes we're hoping for yet, their voices matter. They prove that real change starts with persistence. Speaking up isn't always easy, but their advocacy shows that it's worth it. And it gives me hope that if we keep standing together and pushing for change, we'll start to see the progress we've been fighting for. Because in the end, this isn't just about words, it's about actions. When we uplift Black voices, we uplift our community. So let's commit to building a future where every student, every educator, and every family feels like they truly belong. Thank you.
Thank you for reading that statement. That was extremely well said and well written, and your sentiments are right on. So I appreciate what you're telling Batavia it's all about, and it's something we as a community need to be occasionally reminded of how we live in this town and how well we get along and how our future is very bright because everybody is treated equally and we go forward knowing that we're doing the right things. So thank you for everything you just said. Appreciate that very much. Okay, as long as we're doing nice things here tonight, the next thing we have is what has become the annual check presentation to the Batavia Prom Committee, I guess I'll call them. And I assume there's some of you in the audience would come up and accept the check. And I'm going to ask the city administrator and the police chief to come up because there's a little bit of a story here about this check. What we do, this is a very large check, and what we do is the city administrator puts the money that we get from drunk driving convictions into a special fund, and that money then is put into a fund that then generates this check. And this check then allows for the post-prom party to have a very nice event. And one of the things they do to get everybody that once you come, you can't leave. If you leave, you can't have your name. You have to be there to get the prizes because they have these great prizes that they give away about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's down at Funway. And I have been invited down there a couple times because I've been given this check away that they had me draw the drawings. Now, I haven't been there in a couple of years because going down there and getting out at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning is a bit of a challenge, but anyway, so I'm going to turn this over to Laura, and she's going to kind of tell a little bit about it, where it comes from. And this is the lady that watches over the money and makes sure that we get you the money that you're deserving.
Thank you, Mayor. In addition to the drunk driving, it also is funds that we receive as fines from when we do our liquor checks and our cigarette sales checks. So those are done and put in place to make sure that liquor and cigarettes and those types of things aren't being sold to minors. So it seems like a great use of those funds to have it also go to support this wonderful event that the committee puts together every year, again, to keep the kids safe, but having such a great time. And I think it's an amazing tradition that the city has. So I want to thank you both very much. And Chief, if you'll present the check.
So this is a check for $3,000 from the police department in recognition for all the great things that your organization does for the community and providing our youth safe alternatives to alcohol. So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's okay. I feel like I'm talking this way. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate this. It goes a long way. It's such a fun night for the kids. We've been doing this for, I don't even know how many years have we been doing post-prom, Mayor Schelke? Long time. Chris and I went to school together, and we did not have it at that time, and we're not going to talk about how many years that was. But it is, the kids have a blast. We have it at Funway, and they do just such an amazing job. There's so much for the kids to do there. And as Mayor Schelke said, we have these great prizes that they cannot get unless they stay until the very, very end. So wouldn't you know it, everyone is still there at the very end because they want some Lala tickets is what they want. So there's a lot of great stuff, and we do really appreciate it. And we would not be able to do it if it wasn't for these funds. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And following right along on our agenda is a presentation update on the wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation by Jerry Ruth. Jerry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, here's the update for February for what we're doing down at the wastewater plant. In the headworks building, which is the first step of treatment, electricians and ductwork is going in, the precast roof and the roofing membrane is on. So we've got nearly a watertight building. The primary clarifiers, continuing concrete, not much at all this week because of the temperatures, but they're still well ahead of schedule for that. Primary clarifiers, the odor control vault is in. I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute. Clarifier control building, process piping equipment, electrical HVAC, it's all ongoing. Everybody's warm in there, so they're making progress on the inside work. They've also started the rehab of the first of 3 final clarifiers at the far south end of the site, and have started the piping and equipment installation inside the sludge handling building for waste-activated sludge thickening. So offsite improvements, not much has changed. It's just a view from the south of the site looking north. There's a set of stairs that we're constructing adjacent to the bike path, sort of halfway up between Pomarco Drive and Water Street. That set of stairs is cast, and it should be available for public use by the time people start regularly using the bike path. In the headworks, you'll see in here, this is the electrical room, so they're starting to get the electrical equipment mounted on the walls and their equipment pads and conduit connected to them when wires landed. This is upstairs in the screening room, so we have the 2 screens there discharging into a chute and the grit removal equipment on the left side of this picture. This is just to show the difference between the room where it looks with an unpainted ceiling and a painted ceiling with ductwork next to it. So that work is ongoing. It's starting to look like a functioning building with the ductwork that's going in as well. This here on the lower level in the pump room. This is an aerial from January 1st, and then a month later, the biggest change that you see from the outside, obviously, is going to be the roofing, and that's probably the biggest change you'll see until we get face brick up on there in the spring. Here's a view from Flynn Street, looking west at the north face of our building. Again, the biggest change being the roofing material that you see from the outside. Jumping over to the clarifier work. I haven't shown too many pictures of the step-by-step for these structures, so I decided to send more of them this time. So this is clarifier 401. This is the 4th of 4 clarifiers. So they have this large structure in the bottom center of the structure that is about 6 foot deeper than the rest of the tank. Once that concrete was in place and the piping was in place, they backfilled and prepped the base underneath the slab. It's a party out there. This is the formwork going around that bottom slab of the clarifier. Place rebar and then place concrete. And it takes weeks to get these structures done. So the contractor is making good progress, taking advantage of the weather when he has it. This is clarifier 402, a little bit further along. Concrete walls are up. Concrete launder, it's basically the path that goes around the inside of the tank is coming along shortly. You'll see pictures of that next month. And this is earlier on in that part of the project where they were setting forms for those walls. This is clarifier 403, a little bit further along. The rotating assembly is installed, as well as the launder covers. That's the white around the outside that you see in the picture on the right. That'll provide odor control for these 2 structures for the city. And here's a view of that clarifier. This is from the roof of the main building, which is the building up on the northeast end of the site, looking south. You get a feel for how close these structures are and how tight the constraints were for the contractor. And this doesn't look like much, but this is what's going to help keep odors at bay in the primary clarifiers. It's one of the odor-causing structures in wastewater treatment. So we're sending all of the air from these clarifiers into this box and spraying it with a hydroxyl radical that'll scrub the air. This is inside the primary clarifier control building. There are 4 clarifier structures, so there are 4 pumps that draw water from the bottom. These are those 4 pumps. Here's an aerial from January 5th, and this is that same perspective about a month later. So things are coming right along. UV building, this is probably one of the last things you'll see for the UV building since we have passed that milestone and the system is up and running. But the flooring and the ceiling and little odds and ends that were caught by the final walkthroughs have been addressed. This is just the walkway around the channels. I mentioned the clarifier was starting to get rehab. This is clarifier 703. You'll see on the picture on the left, there's some plates that are on the floor of the tank that are just on their sides. Part of the rehab is replacing wear items, and those plates are little plows that plow the material at the bottom of the tanks towards a common place for drawing it off. And they were removed, replaced, and a handrail was installed around the launder. That's the picture on the right, to give operators a place to tie off for safety reasons. So those are the photos. I'm talking about the cost in terms of progress. Just under $34 million spent to date, over $32 million for the construction costs on the $42.6 million project. So in terms of schedule, and that's contract start to contract finish, they're at 51%, but they're 76% in terms of cost. Change orders, I did tell you that I was going to bring a change order this time. We're still waiting on the contractor for one of these little minor changes, the backup information for it, so next month. And in terms of schedule, I removed UV from this, but basically the milestones that you're seeing here are well in the future, over a year away. I anticipate they're going to complete all of these ahead of schedule, and if anything else comes to mind that might change that, I'll be bringing it to your attention right away. And that's the update for February. Thank you for your time.
Any questions of Jerry?
Are you still using the generator that was being used this weekend, or is that turned off?
So that wasn't part of our work, allegedly. Okay. So, yeah, I can't give you an update on it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Gary can.
Gary, can you speak to that?
I can, yeah. So when we posted that message on the website on Saturday, it was done in conjunction with us trying to get a large semi-truck type generator down there. You may have seen, I remember those generators in use when the Great Flood occurred in downtown Chicago. All the high-rises got put on those generators for several weeks. But that's what we were trying to get to the treatment plant, which, as it turns out, that we never were able to get one of those. But we were able to put together other aspects to get that building operating enough so that we can now make permanent repairs, which is what we started on today. So Laura and I were talking prior to the start of this meeting that the noise level that we had potentially anticipated, which is why we were trying to put the message out, has never materialized. So we can take that message off the website. So yes, there are generators operating down there, but you're not gonna notice them. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. I've had people ask me that today, so it's good that we got that answered. Anybody else? Well, thank you, Jerry, and look forward to your next visit.
Likewise. Have a good evening.
All right, moving to item 11, does Main Street have a little report for us? Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, yes. All right. Pressure's off, so thank you for having me here tonight. And thank you to everyone who was able to attend Celebrate Success last week. We had nearly 100 attendees, including many city officials and staff, over 25 downtown businesses, and many of our Main Street volunteers. So it was a really fun evening. We mixed up our award categories this year. So I have a few honorable mentions here. New Moon Vegan received the Rising Star Award. Sturdy Shelter Brewing received our new Community Impact Award. And Sidecar Supper Club received an Innovative Events Award. They actually hosted over 300 events this year. So they put us to shame. We started a new marketing program for new homeowners. This is a mailer. You can see the front and back side there. And it includes our restaurant and shopping guides, as well as our 2025 event schedule. And then we also include just a handwritten note welcoming them to Batavia. So we've sent out over 100 already, and we're hoping that this is just a nice welcome to the community. And also with those QR codes, we can track how many of the homeowners are using them. So it'll be interesting to see the success of that. And then this is my favorite time of year at Main Street because January and February is planning and prep for everything ahead. And with some new staff and more time under our belt this year, we've really been able to dig into some grant writing and other opportunities. So we partnered with the Small Business Development Center this January to host a Being Grant Ready workshop for the downtown merchants. We had 9 businesses in attendance, and we've also been very busy writing grants in the office. So thus far, we've applied for 4 grants, and we've actually received one. We received the Illinois Main Street grant for marketing, which is an additional $5,000 to our marketing budget this year. We're excited to try some new initiatives with that money. So we'll be doing some paid social media campaigns with some influencers. We are founding a downtown Batavia hype team. So more information on that to come, but it's kind of our grassroots marketing efforts for people that love the community and want to help us spread the word. And then we're also going to be using a portion of those funds to work with a PR firm this year to try to get or help us with our pitch to news agencies to get some more press and coverage downtown this summer and fall. And then we are in the process of writing 2 more grants, so I am eager to get those off my desk this March. And then lastly, we made some revisions to our sponsorship book at the end of last year and really tried to refine our offerings for sponsors and partners within Main Street. So we've been hitting the ground running, selling those sponsorships this January and February. We've sold 67% of our available sponsorships so far. But if you know of anyone that's interested in partnering with Main Street, we'd love to meet them, have a conversation, and really find a sponsorship that best meets what they're looking for. So that is it for me, unless anyone has any questions.
Questions of our friends from Main Street? Well, thank you for coming down. Keep up the great job. It really is making downtown Batavia shine. Between the Chamber of Commerce and yourself, we really are a community that both old people and newly arrived residents are getting to know very good. So thank you for all you're doing.
So much.
All right, moving then to item. Oh, Abby, sorry.
All right, I was just going to ask any news on when we'll find out about the next round of boardwalk shops?
Yes. So we have selected our boardwalk shops for next season, and we should be announcing within the next probably week or 2. So yeah, we have a great lineup for you guys. And I think
All right, moving to item 12 on our agenda, which is ordinance 2025-010, an ordinance authorizing the city of Batavia, Canyon, DuPage counties to issue waterworks revenue bond in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $7 million is in evidence of loans issued pursuant to the public water supply loan program. Who's got this one?
That would be me. I was not at the cow meeting.
You got this?
Yeah.
And Laura says she can present it.
She'll be more qualified, for sure.
Ordinarily, it would be Peggy up here who is doing this, but she's not, she wasn't at work today. So this is a furtherance of this fantastic project that was begun by our water department 4 years ago. As soon as there became word that the state of Illinois was thinking of setting up a revolving loan program to assist communities in being able to replace lead service lines. Jeremy Barkai and the water department got on that immediately. in the beginning to try to inventory all of the lead service lines that exist within our community, but then working with our contractors at EEI to set up a plan for how we were going to then be able to both access money to be able to do the work at zero expense to our residents, and then also be the first ones in. The first round of funding that we received was $4 million, and that was in forgivable loans. So that was a grant that was so incredible to get in on that round. The successive rounds are loans that the city will have to pay back, but the payback period is over a course of 30 years and at 0% interest. So the current round that we need in order to complete the remaining lead service lines that we know about, we asked for and have received a loan of $7 million. We don't have to borrow all of that. We can amend it if we find that we need less than that, but the debt would be serviced through the rates that are charged by the utility. And so we already had in our plan to continue to make small increases year after year, and we will just continue to do that so that we make sure that we have enough to service the debt. But it's a great opportunity to be among the very first communities in the state of Illinois to have accomplished replacing all of the lead service lines. So we ask for your approval.
Remarkable story, really.
It really is. It really is. The process that's been set up between the water department and EEI is now being used as a model by other communities about how to conduct replacement of the lead service lines in their communities. So we really are very proud.
Like a project as it has been, as many years as it's been, I bet you that all of us on the council could probably count on one set of hands how many complaints we've had. I mean, and that just does not happen with a program that big.
I agree.
I can't imagine how anybody would want to do it differently than what we're doing.
Any further questions in the council? And I need a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Solfa.
Aye.
Perrin.
Aye.
Ayazi.
Aye.
Saleh.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Vogelsinger.
Aye.
Beck.
Aye.
Pieper.
Aye.
Malone.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
10 yes, no, 4 absent.
Motion's approved. Okay, moving to item 13, the administrator's report.
Thanks, Your Honor. It was, I think, back in January when I was here and very proud to announce that the city of Batavia had won the award for Project of the Year for under $5 million for the Prairie and Wilson Street intersection, and that was from the American Public Works Association Fox Valley branch. And last week we attended the luncheon, the awards luncheon, and received our award. And on Friday, we received the incredible news that we have also received the award for the Chicago Metro Chapter 2. This is a really big deal. It's the next step until going on to the national award. So attending the awards luncheon, I was really proud to see the presentation that Rahat had put together about this project. And when you see it presented in a room full of professionals like that, it really gives you a new appreciation for what a complex project that was to have a railroad crossing on 2 different legs of the intersection, and it being the only sort of middle of our town crossing from east to west, where one giant middle school is on one side and one giant high school lies on the other. And the incredible communication job that was done for the residents in the area, but also the patience that the residents showed toward the project. And we've had a lot of nice feedback from them about that they really see a huge improvement in how the intersection operates since we've been able to put that in place. So kudos to all involved, Rahat Bari and Tim Grimm and the rest of the engineering department, and also our contractor V3 for their efforts. The Community and Economic Development Department wanted me to let you know that the Plan Commission is going to have their next regular meeting on Wednesday, February 19th, and on the agenda is a series of rezonings along Pine Street and South Verdance, and that's to go from RO to R1L. And these are properties that we recently annexed, and it puts them in the same district as the adjacent properties over there. It also reduces the lot size and setback requirements, so it'll be easier for owners to build site improvements. Also on the agenda is a re-subdivision of properties on Maple Street to create a new buildable lot. Historic Preservation Commission met on February 10th, and they approved a certificate of appropriateness for a proposed deck addition to Sturdy Shelter Brewing at 10 South Shumway Avenue. So we're really excited to see that addition and improvement to an incredible business in our downtown. You're going to see Asplund trucks around town. They're doing tree trimming for the around the electrical lines citywide, and they'll be in town until approximately June. And then also we've made some additions to the road diet section of Route 31. There are going to be 8 additional signs that will notify drivers. Center lane is for turning only. Ends begin center lane, turn only. Those are going to be added along the length of the road diet, and the contractor will be installing those very soon. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Questions?
I had a question regarding Rahat's presentation. Was that like a filmed presentation that he gave, or did he give it out to a crowd and had stuff strolling?
He had a PowerPoint presentation that he ran through slides and gave that presentation. I'd be happy to distribute it to all of you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 14, other business. Do we have anybody in the council that bring anything else up? All right, finally, the mayor's report, and this will be quick, but I just wanted to share that the Batavia Police Administration, starting under Chief Mazza, has been out on the streets of Batavia, specifically at our senior living communities, sharing with them the problems that we are experiencing with crime involving specifically senior citizens. And the chief did a marvelous job of, we spoke at, I would generally go with, and I'd begin with a little talk about Batavia, and then I'd turn it over to the chief. And he would then talk about the things as a senior citizen you better watch and be careful about people calling you on the phone or sending you notes about doing something on the computer. And so one of the things that he warned people about is that there was a scam going on regionally about people calling you or sending you a notice that they were from the Illinois Tollway Authority and that your account had gone unpaid and that they needed a new credit card number to get your account up to date. And as the chief said, this is a total scam. The Tollway Authority doesn't handle things like that. If you need it, they send you a notice and say, your credit card is expiring. Could you call us at this number and give us your ID? And they did all kinds of good stuff to kind of prove that they were who they were. But this new group was just wanting you to fill out a form and send in your newest credit card number. And so this past Saturday, both Lauren Newman and myself got the notice from the Tollway Authority that we'd gone into, what's the word they used? Yeah, collections, because we weren't up to date with them. And so what was most interesting, when I brought it down and showed it to the police chief, we quickly determined that the phone number that they said, if you got any questions, call this number, it began with positive 63 dash, dash. So it was a Philippines phone number that they wanted you to call. And so I just wanted to share that I've now talked to several other people today that have had this same experience. So I just think they must have picked everybody in Batavia out that they could find, that they could get a credit card number on or an address for, and send them this notice. So we want to spread the word that don't respond to the tollway authorities' request that your account is bad because it's a scam. And they really hit us hard. Interestingly, in my role in Chicago, we've just had a new chairman appointed of the CMAP Executive Board, and it's none other than the newly appointed director of the Illinois Tollway. So I'm supposed to go over to her offices in Downers Grove, and in the next couple of weeks, I'm supposed to go over and have lunch with her. So I'm going to save my email so that she can see the one I got, but I'm sure she's quite aware of this. And they're going to be doing some other things. I think there's going to be an effort to try to chase this down as to where this Philippines number comes from and what can and cannot be done. But if anybody in town asks you about how did my tollway account get put into bad position, it didn't. It's just a scam artist trying to get you to give them your credit card number so that they can quickly tap into your account and be gone into the night, is what basically is trying to be done here. So it just shows you what the world we live in. And I've talked several times with the police detectives. So much of our crime in Batavia now is coming at us over the computer. And it's just a situation that there's not anything anybody can do about it, but you got to be alert and aware. So I know our new chief is very much in concert with trying to keep people alerted to this, and he'll be out on the street sharing some of this as the past two have been. So we're trying to get the word out with 6 senior living communities in town. We're building a 7th one now out there on Main Street. We got a lot of senior citizens, and they become the target here because, as they readily tell you when you go in, well, I graduated from high school before 1966, and I never saw no computer in any school classroom I was ever in, so I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why this is happening, but it's just something that we have to deal with, and I think we're dealing with it good, but I just thought it was almost funny that they sent Lauren Newman and I the same scam on the same day, thinking that they obviously didn't know who we were, and that I could probably do them quite a bit of damage, which hopefully I will. So anyway, that's where we're at, and I have no other further business, so I'd entertain a motion